皆さん、明けましておめでとうございます。デッドリフトポッドキャストへようこそ。2024年はこういったポッドキャストを配信していきますので、よろしくお願いします。新年一発目のゲストは、デッドリフト宮城ことカール・ヨハンソンの登場です。皆さんが絶対を聞きたいことや経歴、なぜ宮城なのかがこのポッドキャストで明らかになります。ぜひお聞きください。
Well, hey guys, super glad to be on here. Super excited for this first episode and a little short introduction on who I am. Well, my name is Carl Johansson. The most of you guys may know me as Deadlift Miyagi on Instagram. I know Yuki likes that name. I didn't really know that it's actually a Japanese city. I actually got the name from Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid. Back when I started the account back in I think it was 2020 or something. I had like 40 followers and I just wanted like a fun nickname. So that's where that's from. But yeah, I mean, I started powerlifting 2018. Did my first competition in May as a very light 83. Actually started out as an 83. And then after a year of competing, I did my first debut as a 74. And yeah, after that, I just aimed towards being best in the world. And yeah, I mean, obviously I won Open Worlds this year. I've also won Junior World Championships back in 2022 in Turkey. And I also hold some Junior World records. And I actually held the Open World record in the deadlift until was it 2 weeks ago? Yours was? Yeah. Until Shell took that away from me. God damn it. But yeah, that's basically who I am.
そう、カール・ヨハンソン本名で、みんなはね、デッドリフト宮城として知られてると思うんですけど、パワーリフティング2018年から始めて、その時はね、確か83キロ級で、自分は空手キッドの宮城が好きだから、その名前にしたんだけど、本当に実際宮城県っていうね、そういう地名があるっていうのを知らなくて、ただただね、好きなニックネームをポーンってやってただけでやってきたんだけど、最初は83キロ級でね、パワー始めて、で、コロナ明けかなに74に落としてって感じかな。2018の後かなに74に落として、世界出て、最初は藤井君に負けたけど、そこからね、ジュニアのワールズで勝って、ターキーか、トルコで勝って、で、世界記録出てる人持ってて、2週間前まで。2週間前ユーロでノルウェーのケルブが
330
引いたから、そうやられちゃったけど、すぐ取り返すよみたいな感じかな。それが基本的な感じ。
OK。これ2023年の、23か。今年のマルタか。大会終わって、優勝したわけやけど、そこでちょっと変わったことを聞きたいかな。みんながどんな。
I mean, it's opened very many doors business-wise in terms of coaching. I've started doing public speaking on mental health. Obviously, in my career, could fuel that and give me even more opportunities. And I also feel like after Open Worlds, when I sort of felt like I had more responsibility as a role model because I knew that, obviously my amount of followers grew and a lot of my followers are young guys who are struggling with mental health as well. And I have a lot of people reaching out to me on a daily basis who's well, you inspire me a lot. I'm going through sort of what you went through. And they tell me that I am their source of inspiration. So for me, this Open Worlds win isn't really that much about my personal gratification. It's more okay, I've done this now. Now I have even more of a responsibility as a person, not only as a lifter for myself, but for inspire others, the world a better place in my way. So I would say that it, shortly explained, like I've gotten more business opportunities, and I also have a much bigger like purpose now, towards serving others. Yeah, that's basically it, if that's a good explanation.
まあ結局マルタ終わって、やっぱ一番変わったのはやっぱ、もっとビジネスの機会が増えたっていうのと、やっぱり今までは自分もそのトップの人たちを尊敬する側のやつだったけど、やっぱりマルタ終わってから、やっぱ尊敬される側に変わったってことで、やっぱりそれなりの行動していかなきゃいけないっていうのと、まあやっぱりね、それこそコーチングのビジネスで、やっぱりね、もっと人が来るようになったし、あとはパブリックスピーキングする機会っていうのが、やっぱ増えた。まあ、カールの場合はもともとメンタルヘルスのことがあって、それを公の場で話すっていうのが、まあ一つの夢でもあったし、それをパワーリフティング通して、まあメンタルヘルスから、克服できるっていうことで、世界で一番になれるってことを、やっぱり証明できたっていうのは、すごい良かったって言ってる。だから、とりあえずいろんな機会が増えたってことだね。やっぱ今はロールモデルとして、
確かに。
自分でやっていきたい。
尊敬される側になったってことね。2019年から、2021か。最初のスウェーデンから、このかなり2023年、トータル多分70キロぐらい変わったと思うけど、それまでのその経緯となんで強くなったのか、まあ、あとは気をつけてること、練習とか、食事とか、まあそういう面でちょっといろいろ教えてほしいなって感じです。
So I'd say there's like three factors that's benefited my like very fast progression. The first one is back in, I think this was 2021. It was a week out from Euros, and I was supposed to compete. And back then I was actually doing conventional deadlifts. And on my last conventional deadlift day, I actually hurt my back and got a disc bulge, which caused me to not being able to participate at Euros. And I mean, I couldn't walk properly for like 4 days. I was like bedridden. During that period, I had to rehab for like 6 months. And during that period, well, one thing that helped was like I was so caught up in being like the lifter Cali instead of like my own self. I was like I was so like caught up in like the medals and all the numbers and all that. So mentally, I had to like take a step back and really work on myself personally, and really like to tell myself, I had to do this for myself and for my own personal growth. This is not just for medals. The medals are like something from like at the side, but the main thing is I have to grow spiritually and mentally and all that in order to reach that goal. So I sort of had to like let go of all the medals in order to reach them, if that makes sense. And also, we did a small change for training in Joey. So when we started to like implement squats and deadlifts again, we only had one squat a week. And during the period, I really like development was getting stronger and stronger, and we just kept it at 1 day a week. And I think me personally as lifter, I'm really sensitive to like volume. So we just kept a very like low volume, low squat frequency type of programming, and that helped me to like develop a lot. So that's one thing. The second, I'd say, after my junior world championships in 2022 in Istanbul, where I won, I was actually thinking about going up to 83 because I had a lot of problems with like eating disorders. I couldn't really like manage the mental thing about like tracking macros and all that, and I didn't really know what I was doing because I didn't have a dietitian that helped me back then. I was doing it all myself, and I think that put a lot of stress on me. So I actually told Joey that I wanted to go up to 83. But he recommended that I first like seek out to a dietitian. So he got me together with one of his dietitians that he likes to like implement with his other lifters, which was Paige Myers. So we started working together. and I actually decided to stay in the 74s because I mean I was a very like light 74. I was weighing like 74 like year round training because I was so afraid of like cutting and all that, and I was like weighing in too light at competitions. So yeah, we just made sure to like really dial in the nutrition aspect of everything. And I mean, after that, my training just took off. I think that's where you really could like see after the Junior Worlds thing. You can really like see my progress really start to increase a lot compared to like my previous numbers. And I think nutrition played like a big role with that, and also like implementing the only one squat a week thing for like a longer period. And also mentally, I mean, I've been growing a lot as a person. And between each and every competition, I've stumbled upon like a lot of adversity, whether it's like in powerlifting or it's outside in terms of like personal stuff. But I've always made sure to like grow from it and be getting like stronger and stronger. And after my junior European championships in 2022, where I hit my first junior world record, I realized that I don't really have any type of limits, which also like helped a lot with like me actually being brave enough to like take on this bigger quest, like being brave enough to like, saying to my national coaches, I want to be at open worlds. I want to like be able to compete with the big guys. I don't want to only be like good for like a junior. I want to be the best, period. Not like only by the juniors, like the best. So I'd say there's three factors. So the programming change me and Joey made, the nutrition aspect, and the biggest of all, I'd say, is the mental. Because
Yeah. I want to
um,
ask one thing. So because since I came back to Australia after Malta, I actually
mm,
start going church every month, once a month.
yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
So
yeah, nice,
yeah. So I didn't tell you actually, but like I'm really Christian now. I'm reading Bible before I go bed. It's few pages,
yeah,
but like I'm on Corinthians now, so it's almost like halfway through
mm,
now. But I get
mm,
teaching like and I start believing actually God's power.
mm,
And because last years I didn't do well at Worlds, and I
mm,
feel like that because I feel like I didn't respect other people enough to,
mm,
or like I'm doing wrong things, and
mm,
God kind of punished me. I kind of feeling.
mm,
So like then I came back like I needed something like bigger power. How does
yeah,
actually like I know you're a Christian. You always like posting a lot of stuff.
mm,
Yeah, scripture as well, everything. So do you think that like those things also helps your mindset
yeah,
and everything?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the closer I've gone, the I say the more I've grown as a person, and the more I could see like what I can do better in. Um, I mean, the more I read in the Bible, and the more I also learn like how wrong I live as well in some aspects that I didn't really like view as wrong before. But when I better those aspects in my life, I could see like positive outcomes, both spiritually and and also like in outside things. Like for example, I've always been very shy about like my beliefs. But the more I've actually been brave enough to talk about it, the more like positive feedback I get like from my friends who are like previous atheists, but starts, go to church, tell me like by the side, like, you really inspire me and I've actually gotten closer to God. Um, but I'd say, yeah, I mean, it's a huge part. I'm 100% certain that God gave me all these like difficulties in life in order to like reach this like endpoint, which was open worlds, or not endpoint, but like that was like my main goal when I started powerlifting, to become the best. And I mean, when I told myself that I wanted to become the best, I'm very certain that God gave me these difficulties in order to reach that level. And I know that if I if I wouldn't have like grown spiritually, but have gotten the strength for it, I wouldn't have won. I know that I won because God allowed me to win. Because I mean, it only like separated. It was a half a kilo between the third and the first.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think God gave me that opportunity because I was ready for it. And I mean, I give all my successes thanks to him. Yeah.
All right, let me translate. Like, it was a long conversation.
Yeah.
So,
結構長かったね。
結局2021年から、まあ、トルコじゃねえや、スウェーデンで負けてから、まあ、次の本当は2021年12月にヨーロッパの大会出る予定やったんだけど、その時に腰を痛めて最後のリフトで。まあ、その時はナローやったんだけど、
確かに。
で、その時に本当に歩けなくて、で、ヨーロッパ大会を辞退せざるを得なくなって、それで、まあ、6ヶ月間ぐらい、そのリハビリした期間があって、で、その時に、やっぱり、そのメンタル的なことで言うと、本当になんか、なんで俺はこんなダメなんだっていう、その負のスパイラルにまあ、入ってたんやけど、その時にやっぱり、一旦、自分のゴール、まあ、ワールドチャンピオンになるっていう夢を、まあ、置いといて、まず健康になること、そういうね、メンタルを、まずね、正常なところに持っていくところから始まって、で、それで9月の、トルコ、2022年トルコで、まあ、勝つことができて、まあ、その時、もう、まあ、結構しんどかったけど、なんかその後、だから上位に、83に行きたいっていうことで、ちょっと待って、その前に、まあ、だからトルコに行く前までに、まあ、トレーニング的なことの、まあ、チェンジで言うと、まあ、本当にスクワットを週1回にして、で、やっぱり自分の体のこと一番知ってるから、やっぱり、自分はボリュームに対する耐性がすごい弱いって分かってるから、まあ、スクワットも週1回、デッドリフトも週1回っていう形にして、まあ、要は調整して上位と。で、まあ、それで、まず腰を良くすることから始まって、でもなんかそれでも重量が伸びてったから、じゃあこのまま1回でいいんじゃねってことで、まあ、変えてったって感じ。でも、やっぱり上位っていうのは、まあ、一人一人ね、やっぱり違うか、違うプログラミングしてると思うから、やっぱりね、それはコーチの言うこと聞くべきやし、自分がどう感じるかっていうのも、コーチにしっかり伝えると、いい人って言われる。だから、藤井はね、もしかしたらスクワット週3回してるかもしれないけど、それはそれで全く問題ない。人それぞれ違うってこと。
今でも。
だから、そう、トルコで勝った時に、勝った後、もう自分なんか7-4で限界だと思って、まあ、上位に8-3に行きたいって言ったんだけど、まあ、上位から、まずはちゃんと栄養士に見てもらって、で、そこから決めようっていう形で、今の栄養士、ページマイヤーって言うんだけど、その上位のおすすめの。そこから
アメリカのやつだっけ？
女の。だからそこから、一気に重量が伸びた。結局トルコの時までは、スウェーデンが10キロぐらいしか変わってないけど、その栄養士つけてから、だいぶ重量が一気に上がって、だから去年のトルコから、今年のマルタまでで、まあ、だいたい1年未満で80キロぐらいトータル伸びたから、やっぱり、宮城の中で、やっぱりそのトレーニング、まあ、プログラム的なことはコーチに任せて、で、栄養っていうのがすごい大事、ニュートリションが一番大事で、そこがやっぱり大きな、鍵だ。早く成長するため。それで、あとはメンタル的なこと。まあちょっとね、俺が質問で、まあ俺も、ね、クリスチャンだからさ、俺クリスチャンで、バイブルを読んでるわけ。だから、神様に対して日本っていうのはさ、ちょっと考え方難しいかもしれないけど、それに対して。
まあ、
についてそれはどう思うかみたいな。
そう。
だから神様が、 宮城にそういった腰の試練とか、それを与えてくれて、それを乗り越えたら大きな報酬が待ってるよっていうことを、やっぱり神様が教えてくれたっていう感じかな。だから神様が、まあ、すべてのね、物事にはね、やっぱ理由があって、それは神様が与えてくれたことっていうね、認識なんだよ、クリスチャンっていうのは。だから、ね、そこのメンタル的な分で、その、神様を信じるっていうことも、大きなやっぱ成功の鍵になってくるっていう。
まだメンタルコーチみたいな、おるみたいな。
Do you still have a like sports psychologist working with you or?
No, I've never actually worked with a sports psychologist. I've always been doing like my own research, but I've sort of been doing it my own way. And I mean, reading the Bible helps a lot. Praying about it. I feel like I don't know if you can say it like that, but it almost feels like God is my sports psychologist. He helps me through the hard times. And I mean it's worked pretty well so far. Who knows? I might hire someone further on, but I feel like the way I do it now has been working pretty good for me.
And you also doing meditation stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I meditate daily.
So you also like research by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I do something called zazen every morning. So basically, it's only I sit for either 15 or 30 minutes, and I just sit there and focus, count my breaths from like 1 to 10, and then I just reset, and I only focus on the breathing, which helps with my focus. And in before competitions, I also like to visualize like how it's going to be on the platform, what types of feelings am I going to experience, and how will I respond to those feelings? Because I mean, I can't shove them away. The only thing I can do is just focus on what I can do, like in the present moment. And I can't control my thoughts and feelings, but I can decide which ones I focus on. For example, if I have a lot of anxiety in before I lift, I just focus on what I can do here and there, like here and then. For example, well, okay, my heart is racing right now. I could just like acknowledge that, okay, my heart is racing right now because I'm nervous. I'm experiencing these thoughts, but I'm not my thoughts. It's only thoughts that pop up in my head, but I'm not them. And just focusing on breathing and just like trying to like disconnect from it in some sort of way, but also acknowledging that it's there, like say at the same time, if that
So
makes
you're not
sense.
attached to the emotions or like your thoughts?
Yeah,
So you
I mean,
can
I try to. It's very hard.
Yeah.
And obviously, I always in before I lift, I always pray, just asking for him to be there for well, like with me and protect me, and that helps a lot. As I mean, if is there's nothing like it.
そうだから、
can do
まあ
it.
メンタル、メンタル的なこと言うと、質問何やったっけ？
いや、メンタルコーチおるかどうか。
メンタルコーチはおらんくて、
はい。
自分でね、全部リサーチしてるんやけど、まあ、やっ
え
ぱり一番のやっぱ助けになってるのはやっぱりその神様のキリスト教の教えっていうのをやっぱり大切にしてて、で、やっぱり、まあどんなに悪いことがあっても、まあね、神様っていうのは守ってくれるもんだから、あとはね、まああと瞑想もう朝毎日必ずやる。15分から30分、呼吸にフォーカスして、やっぱり、そう。で、試合前とかになると、その時に、だからどういった、だから試合でどういった自分が感情になるのか、まあ、スクワットする前に自分はどういった感情になるのか、じゃあ緊張するのか、不安なのかとか、そういった感情を、まあ、イメージしながら、まあ、瞑想するんだけど、だからその試合になった時に、じゃあこれはもう、その緊張してたり不安だったりっていう感情はもう経験してきたから、その瞑想で。だから、それをできるだけなんつうの、切り離して、 自分と。結局、緊張とか不安っていうのは、まあ結局脳が考えているだけであって、自分をそこからなんていうかな、乖離させて考えると、だから緊張っていうのは結局ただの考えじゃん。
うん。
でも俺の体は全然、なんつうの、緊張してると思ってない。俺の心は緊張してると思ってない。だからそこを、だから、なんていうの、ちょっとスピリチュアルな話だけど、なんか乖離させられるようになってきたって言ってた。
う
だから
ん。
そういうのが、試合でのやっぱパフォーマンスに一番役
はいはい。
立つってこと。
え
So my gym is like pretty much like all Christian. Even like there's a
Yeah,
script in my gym. Yeah.
yeah, I've
Uh,
seen it. I've seen it. It's awesome, man.
yeah,
It's
I
awesome.
asked them like, man, can you take me to the church? Like, I wanna learn, like, And since then, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good, man.
I mean,
Like,
you learn so much from going to church.
yeah, you learn
Uh,
so much. Definitely. だか
ー、
ら、
yeah, because
俺のジムもすごいさ、そう、キリスト教だから、
ああ、そうなんや。
まあ、マルタ帰ってきて、まあ、俺月1回行くんだけど、まあ、何時間か。で、教えをもらって、やっぱね、すごい学ぶことはあるよ。いや、神様の、
うん。
そう、俺もだから聖書、今、カバンにここに入ってるんだけど、
ガチ。
そう、読んで、うん。
ということで、まあ、メンタルヘルス、まあ、メンタル的なあれも言
まあ、メン
いますし、
タル的なことが多いよ、やっぱり結局。
確かに。
うん。
あとはまあ、日本の皆さんは栄養コーチをつけましょう。結構みんなギアを買ってるんで、それよりかはやっぱ栄養コーチみたいにつけて、やった方が、そっちに投資した方が絶対いいですね。
まあ、やっぱその日本の違いっていうのは、やっぱそこやな、なんか、ギアとかそういったものにすごいお金をかけられるけど、やっぱ、知識に投資するっていうのはなかなか
まあ、
ね、
そこの
難しい。
違いもちょっと、なんか質問、ちょっと聞いてみていいですか？まあ、その日本人は結構ギアにばっか投資するけど、そういうコーチとか、まあ、全然、なんていうかな、まあ、日本人のコーチつけたりとか、栄養コーチつけんから、まあ、それについてちょっとどう思うかっていうのを、まあ、軽く説明してもらったらいいかなと思います。
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course you need good gear in order to like compete, but I mean, I think people in general put too much focus on like on what they're wearing. I mean, as long as you have a pair of knee sleeves, a belt, some shoes, wrist wraps, you'll be good. What type of brand it is, it doesn't really matter. I mean, of course, some brands are better than others. Um, but I mean, I think people put way too much focus on that instead of like, what can I invest in? For example, a coach, a nutrition coach, or a mental coach that's gonna make like myself personally better. Not like I think
Yeah.
people put too much focus in short-term solutions. For example, like buying the tightest pair of knee sleeves or buying the newest belt or the newest shoes because they think that that's gonna add like 3 kilos. But I mean, that's not like a long-term solution.
In a long
The
time.
best thing is,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you have to view long-term. And I mean, if you get a coach, you will one get someone from the outside perspective on your training. They might like notice things that you yourself can't see. Um, you get like you don't have to stress around like programming. I mean, I would have never like managed to like. I mean, of course, I could program since I'm myself as a coach, but just the thought of having someone else doing it for me puts like I mean it decreases stress a lot, especially before a competition, and you learn a lot. I mean, in my opinion, Joe is the best coach in the world, and of course I'm going to invest in that because he's going to make me better. So I'd say let's focus on material and invest in stuff that's going to make yourself better in the long run.
そうだから、まあ日本人のみんなに言いたいのは、やっぱり、
うん。
もう物事をやっぱ長期的に見なきゃいけないよね。やっぱ
あ
り
あ、
今、
確かに。
新しいのが出たから、これをすぐ買う。で、この靴を使ったから3キロ伸びるってことはまずないわけで、別に何のニースリーブだって、何のベルトだって、結局ね、まあそんなに違いはないってことよ。でもちろんね、いいギア持ってたらそれでいいかもしれないけど、みんなが、まあ他の人に見られてるとか、自分をどう見せたいかっていうところにフォーカスしすぎて、 その長期的なことを考えられてない。
うん。
だから、まあ、例えば俺の場合だったら、やっぱジョイっていうのは世界で一番のコーチやから、もちろんそこにやっぱお金を投資するよね。やっぱそれで、やっぱり、いつもフィードバックもらえるし、まあね、宮城自身もコーチやから、まあ自分でプログラムやろうと思えばできるかもしれないけど、やっぱそこにやっぱ第三者の目が入ることによって、自分も学ぶことができるし、まあ長期的に見て、やっぱりなんかギアを買って終わるよりも自分を高いところに持っていける。だから自分自身のレベルアップにやっぱりつながる。自分の人生を豊かにできるのは、やっぱり道具じゃなくて、やっぱそういった情報だったりとか、
うん。
まあコーチだったりとか、まあそういったことだよ
そういうことね。まあよくあ
ね。だから
る
自分の
典
人生を
型的な。
豊かに、そう、するのは道具じゃないよってこと。自分自身だよってこと。
はいはいはい。まあ結構日本人もコーチつけてる人おるけど、まあかなり短期的に見てるからな。例えばまあ3ヶ月で伸びなかったらやらないっていうのもありますし、そういうのやな。
そう、like, うんうん。
Yeah, I mean, you have to work with a coach like for longer than 3 months in order to progress because the coach have to like get to know you and you have to get to know the coach. I mean, you have to first like build like a bond. You have to trust each other, and I mean, he has to know you as a lifter as well. So you can't really like expect, okay, I'm gonna get a coach now, and now instantly I'm gonna to gain a bunch of kilos. I mean, you have to again, you have to view it as a long-term investment because I mean, in the beginning, it's for you and the coach to get to know each other. And the longer you guys work together, the more you get to know what really works for you as a lifter. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say just don't rush it. Don't see it as a short-term investment again. It's not going to put on like 3 kilos just because you have this coach. You have to actually be able to put in the work. And also, I mean, well, are you handling your outside factors like outside of training? Are you managing your stress? Are you sleeping good? Are you drinking good? Are you having enough like nutrition, like good nutrition? That's also aspects that are going to impact your training. It's not only the programming. The programming is only a small bit of it. You have to cover all the other aspects as well in order to like progress. So I would say just view the coaching thing as a long-term investment. Let the coach to to know yourself, like to know you as a lifter, and handle all your other outside factors because that's going to play a big role in how you will perform in the training.
そう、だから3ヶ月、だけじゃ無理なわけ。だから
うん。
コーチはもちろんその人のことも知らなきゃいけないし、そのリフターもコーチのことを知らなきゃいけない。
せやな。
で、やっぱり、結局ね、そんな3ヶ月でいい関係性なんて作れるわけないんだから、結局時間がかかる。
う
それを
ん。
リフターがやっぱり結局理解しないで、すぐやっぱ
確か
そうやってコーチを変えていっちゃったりするっていうのは典型的なやっぱ失敗例で。だからそれもさっきも言ったように、ま
長
あ、
期的に。
どこに置くのか。そうそう、だから長期的に見て、結局何が自分にベネフィットを
うん。
くれるか、何がだから、you know, you know, だから何が結局自分にね、いいことをもたらしてくれるかっていうのを長期的に見てね、やっぱ考えないといけない。だから
Since what is it? I did my first works with him 2020. It's April 2021. So is it like 2.5 years now?
almost 3 years.
Something like
Yeah,
that?
3 years.
Yeah,
と、も
yeah,
うだか
it's
らもう
almost 3 years. So
21
yeah,
年の
it's been a
4月か
while.
らって。うん。21年の4月。もう3年。
いつからって
21年の4月だって。
じゃあもうワールド前ぐらいやったから、やっぱそうか。
もう3年だから、もうちょっとだよ。
短いな。俺だって2019年。
You join, you start working with him
2019。
2019.
Oh, that's long. That's a long time.
12
Damn,
月ぐらい。
that's so long.
そのやらんかった期間もあったけどな。やっぱり長期に半年ぐらい休んだ期間でこうやってないみたいな。累計で合わせて4年ぐらいみたいな。 まあ、デッドの秘訣ですね。やっぱ意識してること。多分これが一番聞きたいっていう感じ。まあ、それをちょっとまあ軽く。
This is the last one that he want to ask.
Mhm.
And this is like the question a lot of Japanese people are actually curious because Japanese
Mhm.
people cannot deadlift. So what's the key actually like, to deadlift like you? Like include myself, I can't deadlift. The Yuya is kind of special, not special, but like other
Yeah.
people, we struggling. Yeah.
I mean, it's so personal for like person to person, but like build as much tension into the bar as you possibly can before breaking the floor. It's not about like pulling the floor off, like pulling the bar off the floor. It's building enough tension into the bar and just letting the bar go from the floor, if that makes sense. Because that's something I could like see from a lot of lifters that they just yank that shit off the floor and don't like they don't have like any they don't let like the lift take its time. So just be patient with it. Do good mobility work as well. Focus on like using the hip a lot as well, not only like pushing with the legs. For me, the deadlift is a very like hip dominant lift. So yeah, body tension, good mobility, and use your fucking hips.
Don't swear, man.
Oh, sorry. Can I swear? Oh shit. Sorry.
God is gonna mad to you, bro.
Do you want me to like? Should I redo it?
ない。まあ、3つあって、3
うん。
つあって、
三つあって。
まずはやっぱバーに対するテンションをやっぱ
あ
かけるってこと。
あ。はいはい。
で、多くの人がもうただただバー掴んで、もう引いてる。もう引いてるってだけで、実際に自分は引いてるっていう意識はなくて、まあ足を使って、ケツを使って押して、その結果バーが勝手に帰ってくるみたいなイメージらしいの。バーが勝手に浮いてくるみたいな。
はいはいはい。
だからいかにそのバーにテンションをかけられるかっていう、まあたわみだったりっていうことだよね。で、それで我慢すれば、我慢して押し続けてれば床を勝手に浮いてくるから、まあ多くの人がそこで我慢できないで、今日の腰が曲がっていっちゃったり、背中曲がっちゃってずっとり、で、それでもうただただなんか引っ張っちゃってるっていう形になっちゃうから、やっぱ引くっていうイメージをまずなんか捨てた方がいいみたい
確かに。それは俺もあるわ。
押すっていう意識。で、やっぱり、宮城的には、まあよく手刀を使うって言うんだけど、まあ手刀だけじゃなくて、宮城的には、その腰とか、まあケツだよね。ケツをやっぱり使う。やっぱヒンジ
うん。
すごい大事です。いかに、だから、まあグルートとかハム、
はいはい。
後ろ側を使えるか。そこもしっかり。
難しいな、そこな。素人からすると。
そこがやっぱ3つキーだよね。やっぱテンションと、あと、なんだっけ、まあ、ケツを使うってことと、あ
押し上げる。
と、
そういうことね。その3つ大事なんで。
別に手が長いとかあんま関係ないっつってた。
ああ、まあ、確かに俺の312.5の、ちょっと
No. I'd probably say be more aggressive with the wedge. Like really put more tension into it. Because he has a good setup, but he's sort of like soft with the wedge, if you get what I mean. He sort of like just leans into it, but he's got to do it with like yeah, he's got to do it with like with force, but controlled. That's what I would
そう
say.
だからお前の場合やったら、これ特別やってよ。まあ、お前はバー掴んでから、まあ、ウェッジに入るやん。
うん。
まあ、ケツを要は前に出してってバーがポンって浮いてくるやん。そこをもうちょっとアグレッシブにいっていいんじゃないって。まあ、もちろん
ああ、まあ、
しながらだけど、
確かに
結構そこが、なんか
ターミヤ作ってるけど、入った瞬間、もうまだまっすぐなってるから。
バンってもうちょっとバンって入れてった方が、もっとバーがポンって浮いてくる。もうちょっ
はいはいはい
と出力が出せるんじゃないかなって言ってるよ。
そういうことね。
お前のウェッジはソフトだって言ってる。
改善します。先
アグレ
輩。
ッシブじゃない。
先輩。
He said, you're the person actually he's chasing for. And he said like in
Oh,
the gym,
really?
in his gym, yeah, he put your
Yeah.
picture on the wall
Yes.
and he looking at you every day.
I like that, man. I like that.
It's actually quite competitive. It's kind of surprising because he's like, you know, kind of quiet and nice guy, but like he's
Mm.
inside his heart, he's like quite like fire. But like he said,
I
like
love
he
that, man. I
respects you a
love that.
lot.
あ、ちょっと見えんな。
Oh, really? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's
Oh man,
crazy.
知ってる
that's
から。
crazy.
Yeah.
白
You
黒
know,
で。
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember when I met him for the first time in 2021. And you know, I just when I saw him for the first time, I was like, damn, that's like it felt like he was so much like so above me, like lifter wise. I was actually kind of starstruck when I saw him for the first time in Halmstad. So I have a lot of respect for him as well. Yeah.
That's why that's one of the reasons why he came back to IPF.
Really?
He said he wanna compete with
Yeah.
you again.
He's gotta come to Lithuania. He's gotta come to Lithuania, man. He's 1-0 on me. We gotta make it even. We gotta even the playing field.
だからリトアニアでもう一回勝負やって。
6月な。
1対1。うん。
ハンデや、リトアニアは。
だからもう1対1にさせるって言ってた。
OK。まあ、6
It's gonna
月、
be great.
6月ちょっと出る方向で行こうか。2月の大会。
He's going to Lithuania now.
うわぁ。鹿島君。
Coming?
Yeah.
Why isn't he coming? Is it because
No,
of
no, he
the
is
flight tickets?
He's coming.
He-
He's
He
coming.
is coming?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go,
I'm
man.
coming. We're coming.
I want that.
We do it again.
Yeah, I want that rematch, bro.
リトアニア何時間で行ける
Yeah,
の
it's gonna
?1
be
時間
sick.
ぐらい
How far from you? Like how far it takes to get to Lithuania?
Lithuania, it was gonna be like an hour and a half flight, maybe 2.
How good, man.
俺
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
20,
nothing,
good.
man. It's
20 時
nothing.
間ぐらいかかるぞ。18、17時間で乗り継ぎで。
Takes like 20 hours, man. Like, oh,
20
dude.
hours?
いや、
Ah,
1日や。
Oh,
that's tough. That's
man,
so
one
tough
day,
for you
man.
guys.
One day, like IPS should host comp in like Asia or Oceania.
But aren't they like
But-
hosting Worlds in Japan some year? Isn't like 2026 or something?
That's a plan. Yeah. 27. Yeah.
Ah, that's
a
gonna be
long
cool.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Then we're gonna have a rematch.
rematch, yeah.
Yeah, home soil.
だってよ。いや。
まあそんな感じかな。
Could you
うん。
could you also tell him that I mean it's a very big honor for me that you know that I'm his sort of like source of inspiration. It means a lot, you know, just knowing that. I mean, I'm at his he has me as a poster at the gym, you know, background. It's very honoring for me. It's very honoring.
あれ、ゆうやもあれだってよ、宮城からしたら、まあ最初始めた時は、なんかもう、藤井様様で、やっぱヒーローみたいな感じだったって言ってて、お前のこと。
デトリート
で、
表
やっぱり、そう、めっちゃリスペクトしてるし、だからこそリターンでもう一回リマッチしたいって。
うん。いいね。
いいやん、お前ら。
頑張りたいね。
Cool, hey. God teaches you, bro, like how to respect people, how to like, you know, give people like, you know, how everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think you like can get that far by being, you know, like disrespectful and you know thinking that you're better than everybody else. I mean, because God's gonna give that back to you.
Yeah,
So I mean, I I always ask myself, like in certain situations, that you know, what would God have or Jesus have done in this situation? And I mean, I don't think they would have like been disrespectful to people. You know, I mean, it says in the Bible, you know, treat yourself as you want to treat your neighbor, or treat your neighbor as you want to treat yourself. And I really try to live by that, like day by day. You know, treating everybody else as like how you would like to be treated. Very important.
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially what happened to me in Malta. Like
Oh
after
yeah.
that, I learned
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, man. Yeah,
Mm,
especially since I started going to church, that was
mm.
disrespect. So, no, I mean like
Yeah.
but like definitely like
I mean, it wasn't really like
I have to
intentional, but
respect
I mean,
people, man. Like definitely.
yeah, super important.
Still, so, yeah. But yeah, I think yeah, we finished off.
Yeah, yeah, it feels like we had a really good episode. I mean, yeah, obviously Sheffield's like all that's on my mind right now. Um, I do feel like I have the capacity to be up there by those guys and potentially win. So that's not really sort of a goal. I'd say the main goal is probably like being 800 plus or way more than 800. But um, yeah, I mean, hopefully winning Sheffield, we'll see. Then obviously we have the Worlds. I would love to like try and retain my title. Obviously we have a lot of like competition, you know, Austin's coming over,
Yeah.
Beast. Um, I mean, I never want to write myself off and before a competition. I mean, I've faced great competitors before, you know. For my second junior worlds, I faced this guy Jeffrey Long. Shout out to him if he's listening. But I know that before the competition, I mean, everybody wrote me off, you know, saying like, "Oh, Jeffrey's gonna run him over, you know, it's gonna be like an easy win." Same thing with Taylor. So I mean, I'm used to being the underdog, and I mean, so I'm coming in with the mentality of, you know, nothing's impossible. I know that I don't have any limits on myself, and as long as I do what God tells me to do, it's gonna be fine.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see
What
how
God
everything
plans,
like
right?
pans
Yep.
out.
まあ、次の目標はやっぱりシェフィールド。まあ、
う
800
ん
と言わずね、もう800以上をね、やっぱ狙っていって、まあ、勝てるように頑張るってことと、やっぱり世界大会もあるし、今までね、世界でいろんな人と戦ってきたけど、まあ、そういってね、今まではずっと2位、3位のノミネーションで、まあ、アンダードッグだったけど、もうね、今はね、やっぱり世界を一回取ってるってわけだから、まあ今はね、どっちかというとマインドセット的にはもう不可能はないっていうこ
うん
と、を言い聞かして、まあ自分に限界はないっていうことをやっぱね、言い聞かして、まあ神様が連れてってくれる方向に俺はついていくっていう感じかな。だから、
お
まあシェフィールド勝ちたいって感じ。
OK。そんな感じね。
うん、
いやー、楽しみですね。
そうですね。Is any shout out?
See what now?
Is any shout out? Yeah. Is any shout out to sponsors or where we can
Yeah,
find you?
so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube. I post some YouTube shorts there. But my name there is deadlift.miyagi. I want to give a huge shout out first to my coach, Joey Flex. I mean, without him, I would never have been here. Want to give a shout out to Paige Myers as well, who helps me with the diet and all that. Without those two persons, I never would have reached this level I actually reached. And also, sponsor, you know, Tyngre, SPD, Orm Salva, Retaliation Project as well, which also signed with
Yeah, I was just saying that, yeah. That's
and
such a cool name.
which more is it? Wait, and
Whoa.
yeah, I love them. I love those guys. Love it. And also, yeah, oh right, Kole Global, who helps me with like economical support and all that. So I really want to thank those guys because I mean, they help me push towards my goals and make it very like so much to reach the goals that I want to reach. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put all the links and everything in the below. I'll let you know. The
All right.
URL、
Perfect.
スポンサ
Yeah,
ー
yeah,
の
awesome.
リンクと、インスタ、TikTok、YouTube のリンク貼っといてな。
OK。じゃあ皆さん、宮城のインスタグラムフォローしてください。デッドリフト宮城で検索、フォローしてください。はい。っていう感じで以上です。多分、かなりいい、
はい。
濃い内容を多分聞けたと思うので、まあ、栄養だったりとか、メンタルもそ
次もね、
うですけど、ベッ
いい話を。
ドとかね。
まあね、そしたら、デッドリフト .jp、UK_66 もフォローしてください。お願い
そうやな。
します。
以上です。Thank you. ありがとう、宮城。